Sorry for bothering you while you're at work, Eloise. Would you be able to take some time off here soon? Perhaps in the next couple of weeks?
The next time I'll be able to take time off will be around the end of this month. Why are you asking?
Actually, my little brother Trey will be getting married. And he asked for us to go and meet with his fiancé and everything soon. So I was hoping that you'd have time to go and do that with me.
What? Trey is getting married now? He was only just talking about how he got a girlfriend a couple of months ago, right?
And well, he's getting married to her now. And Trey has always become easily attached to things, and so he wanted to propose to her as soon as he found out how much he loves her.
That's really fast for those two, though. Trey really must have been a good man to his fiancée for her to accept him that quickly. I would have at least asked for a couple months of just dating before saying yes to something like that.
And now he's wanting all of us to meet her as soon as possible. But, his fiancée is a little bit nervous about meeting everyone. Apparently, she's wanting to meet with you and I first before meeting my parents.
I can understand being a little bit nervous for all of that when she's only been with Trey for a little over a month or so, right? Maybe that's why she's wanting to see us first. It'll be practice for her later to go and see your parents.
I understand that you're pretty busy this month, but do you think you can at least take a half a day to come out and see her soon? We can even just make a quick lunch out of it, and then you can go right back to work after.
Understood. Let me see what I can do today about my schedule then. I'll talk to my secretary even, and she might be able to move some things around for an afternoon to become open.
Thank you for doing that, Eloise. Good luck with work today, and I'll see you tonight.
Thank you for coming out to see me today. I hear that you've been pretty busy and had to make some special time just to come and be with me. Oh, you don't have to worry about my schedule, Maria. I'd like to say how happy I am that I was able to meet you and Trey today. And congratulations on becoming engaged. I look forward to being your sister-in-law once the two of you get married. Actually, I'd really like to talk about all of that right now. It's about things regarding our relationship after today. Can we just act like we don't really know one another? Really, I'm not looking forward to ever meeting with you again, and would like for you and I to be very distant. What? What do you mean you want for the both of us to be very distant from one another? To put it in other words, I'm not going to be inviting either of you to my wedding, and from here on out, please don't even text or call me. I would like to say the next time you and I should meet one another is at our in-laws' funerals or something like that. What? So, now that I've made my wishes clear, please respect them. Make sure to tell Milo about what I'm asking as well. Wait a second, Maria? Saying things like that about us out of the blue, I'm not sure what you mean. What? Do you really have to understand the deeper meanings here? As long as you respect what I've asked for, then everything will be okay. I'm asking that you and your husband stay away from us now, so please just shut up and do as I've asked. Why are you saying things like that at this point in time, though? Today at our dinner, we all seem to be getting along so well with one another. Did I say something rude to you that I never noticed? Well, right in front of you guys and Trey, I had to make sure to fake being all happy. But really, that whole time, I was feeling really let down by both you and your husband. I never actually expected my older sister and brother-in-law to be so poor. Had I known about that all before, I would have never asked to come out and see you both. You're calling us poor? You do realize that Trey is in his 20s right now and running his own company, right? He came from an Ivy League school and is now making bank, which has made him the ideal person for me. And since he ended up such a wonderful man himself, I assumed that both you and your husband would be just as amazing as him, if not more rich. But then to hear from you today that you're from the countryside and are still poor... Do you even understand how much shock I was in after hearing about that? Huh? You told me about this at dinner today. You said that you are from some deep woods countryside community in the middle of nowhere. Whereas I'm from New York and was raised there all my life. And when being raised there, both my parents had loads of money and raised me in this massive colonial-era mansion. That means that me being from a very wealthy and high-standing family should not be anywhere near your dirty and moneyless self. In other words, what you're getting at right now is that because I'm from the backwoods, you think that automatically makes me poor? I think it's a bit ridiculous of someone like you to be judging me based off of only my birthplace and where I was raised. That's not all I'm judging you off of, though. You did come from the middle of nowhere, but your husband Milo also happens to be a jobless shut-in. It must be very hard on someone who's already at the bottom of society to have to be married to a man that doesn't bring in any money. You both are on a one-way trip to becoming some of the poorest people in America. Did you not listen to a single thing my husband and I were saying to you today at the dinner? My husband is not unemployed right now, rather a hard-working man getting all the housework done at home. Someone who stays home and does the chores all day is jobless, right? Either way, he isn't making any money and should just be called a parasite of yours. Then wouldn't that make you a parasite to Trey as well? Huh? You were telling the both of us that after getting married, you'd leave your job and become a housewife, right? You won't be making any money, nor will you have a job, meaning that you are jobless as well. So you and Milo are one and the same. Would you please stop making fun of me like that? Unlike your husband, I am not without a job right now. And when I become Trey's wife, I will still have a job. Really? My job will be staying pretty and youthful for my husband in order to support him through all his hard work. I'll have to make sure that all of his meals are properly balanced so that he'll always be feeling great without gaining any more weight. And considering I'll be doing all of that to support him as a company owner, you could call my job being a company owner as well. I happen to have a very good job coming my way, so please don't compare me to that jobless Milo. But what about making money? I'm not so sure you'll be making a paycheck every month just by being a wife. Are you kidding me, Eloise? Trey has promised me that every month he'll be giving me an allowance of $5,000 to spend. In other words, that's going to become my paycheck, my income. Your allowance will be your income? However, for Milo, he's not getting an allowance right now, correct? In other words, he's just living in that house without bringing in a penny. The only thing you can call a man like that is a parasite. Come on now. I'm starting to get really tired of trying to figure out what the hell your manner of thinking is. I don't need you to understand how the high class think, so would you please shut up and do as I've asked? Ever since I was a little girl, I have never wanted to become close to those that are even an inch below me in the society. Also, my family and I are allowed to pick and choose who we want to be around, and you guys aren't a part of them. So therefore, after today, I don't want either of you to have anything to do with myself or Trey, please. Even if you both want to be close to me, you're not socially allowed to do that, so don't even bother trying.
Hey, Eloise? Did I do something wrong at that dinner we went to last week? I'm not able to get any texts from Trey or Maria anymore. So I'm wondering if you know what's happened to them?
What was that?
Last week we went out with those two for dinner, right? After that dinner, I sent the both of them a text saying that dinner was really fun and thanks, but they haven't even read it yet. And when I messaged Maria again, she still didn't reply to me. I've started to think I've done something wrong and that those two might have blocked me now.
The fact that not even your little brother, who is known for being very prompt, has not gotten back to you or even read that message yet, probably means he blocked you.
I knew it. Hey, did I really do or say something wrong that evening? I get that I was really happy for my little bro and drank a bit of alcohol that night. But did I really do something that bad there to warrant them blocking me?
You didn't do anything wrong, actually. It's just Maria blocking you for no good reason. And Trey isn't bothering to do anything about her either.
What? What is going on with them right now?
I've been a bit on the fence, wondering if I should tell you or not, but I guess I have to now. After that dinner we had, I got a text from Maria, and her and I both talked for a little bit. She told me about how you and I aren't good enough for her and Trey, so she doesn't want us bothering them anymore. She even told me we're not invited to her wedding as well. But the fact that she'd even get Trey involved and have him block you is wild to me. Unless she went and did that herself and he still hasn't noticed anything. She really is a problem, that girl.
Wait a sec. Why are both you and I hated so much by that Maria chick? We aren't good enough for her is what she said? There has to be something I did to piss her off like that, right?
Calm down, Milo. Neither you nor I have done anything wrong here. It's just that Maria hates us for her own reasons that really don't make any sense. Right now she seems to think that both you and I have no money or something.
Huh? She thinks you and I are actually poor?
Compared to Maria, who grew up in New York at an old mansion, I was just raised on the middle of nowhere, right? And with your brother running his own company right now to the best of his abilities, she sees you as doing absolutely nothing because you're home all the time. That means to her, I'm just a moneyless hick from the backwoods, and you're just a parasitic shut-in, and that means you and I don't make any money.
You're telling me that that's her only reason for why she views you and I as poor?
Apparently, since Trey is a CEO right now, she assumed you, being his older brother and me being your wife, we'd have even more to offer than him. So perhaps right now she's in shock because she feels like she's been backstabbed by her own misunderstood expectations.
Wait. That is all just way too crazy to me, though. How can she just decide something like that about us, when she barely even knows you and I? She's already gone and blocked me and won't even invite us to her wedding now. I'm sorry, Eloise. Because I'm not working a job right now, she's probably thinking the both of us are lowlives.
You do not have to apologize for something like that. I don't mind you not having a job right now, and you happened to do your best at your last job, which was enough for me to be satisfied with you. You need this time off from working in order to rest your head, all right?
But surely if I was working right now, none of this would be happening to you and I. I'm going to try and get my parents to reach out to Trey for me right now. And then hopefully he'll become aware of what's going on with his fiancé right now.
No, you shouldn't do something like that to them right now. I think it's better we just let things be for right now.
But if we leave things the way they are currently, I'm going to lose my mind.
I understand that, but you saw how those two were acting with one another when we went to dinner, right? Your brother was falling head over heels for Maria and wouldn't stop talking about her. They're already planning on getting married, so we shouldn't do anything that would hurt those two's relationship.
If that's what you want to do, then I'll lay off for a bit. But if Maria starts saying things about us again like that, please let me know so I can tell my parents. I don't care that this is my brother's relationship. Having his fiancée treat us like that will literally make me explode.
All right, I'll let you know if anything else happens. Now, I'm gonna head back to work. I'll be waiting for you to cook me up some more really delicious food tonight. Hey, Maria, what the hell are you trying to do? What were you thinking, pouring water all over me like that? And the fact that you just did that in front of everyone with that bucket was insane. I'm the one that wants to ask you that same thing. What the hell are you trying to do? I didn't even invite you to my wedding today. Yet you still came all the way out here and introduced yourself to everyone here. You both are frickin' moneyless lowlifes, so don't you dare come to my wedding of all places. I understand that you didn't invite either one of us here, but Trey contacted us about the wedding. He said that we didn't RSVP or anything to the invitation, but we were still coming, right? Maria, you never sent us the invitation you had ready for us and just threw it away, didn't you? And so what? You should have been able to tell that I didn't want you here and should have just said no to him. Yet you came all the way here like you had nothing to worry about and then introduced yourself to all my guests. Why, at my gorgeous and expensive wedding, is there this moneyless, shut-in supporting lowlife introducing herself to all my guests? Huh? I made sure to prepare this wedding the very best I could, which was to a standard of perfection. And I wanted to show off to everyone today that I'm getting married to a CEO. This wedding has to show everyone that I'm the winner and they should all suck up to me. There is no reason for someone like you to be here talking to everyone that's here for me. But even so, that's not a good enough reason to just come pour a bucket of water all over me like that. Are you an idiot or something? Everyone just saw you do that to me and are as surprised as I am. What's the problem with someone of my class pouring water on someone who's below me? Nobody was shocked to see something like that, and I'm sure they'd all do the same thing if they were in my shoes. I'm sure they were all happy to see that happen to you. That happened to you because a poor person should never come into a high-class wedding and start talking to all the guests. Huh? I really hope you've started to understand what position you're in here. And not just at this wedding, I mean, but in this society. I am getting married to Trey, a CEO. This should have shown you that I have no plans of becoming close friends with any of your kind. Don't think that you can become family to me when you're nothing more than beggars. I will never, ever have anything to do with two lowlifes like you and your husband. Then I'm not working with your husband anymore. The contract is being dismissed and relations are over with. What? I really have reached my limits with you today, Maria. I was trying so hard not to make such a big deal out of this for your guys' sake. But having to get drenched in water by you today was the last straw. If you're going to continue to act like that towards me, then let me help you end all the relations you guys and I had. To start, I'm having that contract terminated today. And I will never, ever work with your husband and his company again. What is all of this about right now? What kind of contract are you talking about? You don't have anything to do with my husband and his company's work. Oh, but I have everything to do with it, actually. Your loving husband and I both have a lot to do with one another. Huh? Right now, Trey's company's been doing really well in terms of sales and all that, right? But who might be to thank for all of that growth and has a very good understanding of it all? I'm so sorry. Had you known who I'm talking about, you would have never done something as idiotic as pouring all that water on me. What? As for who I'm talking about, it's me. I happen to work as a customer of Trey's company. Actually, Trey's company happens to be a subcontractor to my company. I happen to have a lot of jobs that I give his company so that he's able to make money through us by handing my company labor. About half of those sales that Trey's been making in terms of selling labor come from my company. Huh? What did you say? That's why today I did not come as his sister-in-law, but rather as his most important customer. Yet if something like this were going to happen to me today, I would have never come. Wait a minute, you're his biggest customer? What? What? You're not just a customer of his, but the biggest one his company has? Just because I'm from the countryside doesn't mean I can't run a company as well. Now that you're aware of things, I'll be going.
Eloise, have you taken all your clothes off and gotten into the tub yet? Did you make sure to get all warmed up and everything? I'm at the store right now getting everything I need to make you chicken noodle soup, alright? Once I'm home, I'll make a big thing of it so that you can warm up and try to fight off any chance of catching a cold.
Thank you for all of this, Milo, but I was just drenched in a little bit of water, so I'll be fine.
You're not fine, though. None of this is fine. You have a very important meeting next week, and if you catch a cold because of Maria, what are we going to do? We have to make sure you take care of yourself now before it's too late.
You're looking more like my secretary right now than my husband.
I'm not your secretary, I'm like your teacher. Look, you have to understand that back in the day, I was a CEO myself and know what to do here. You have to make sure you take care of yourself before important meetings like that, so that your company can stay strong and not collapse along with you.
Then I guess I'll keep quiet and do as you say, teacher.
Jeez, I can't believe that chick would pour water all over you like that at her own wedding. That's not even something to call a mistake anymore. What she did was pure assault. I'm not going to let her get away with that.
Hey, you can chill there, Milo. I have no plans of forgiving her myself, and today I just plan to rest before I get to the business side of taking out the trash. And you can just focus on making me that soup and keeping those nasty colds away from me, please.
All right. I've just picked up all the ingredients and we'll be coming home now. Once you finish with your bath, make sure to get yourself in bed and wait for me, okay?
Please, Eloise, please don't tell me you're really going to stop doing business with Trey's company. Actually, can you come back to the wedding right now? If both you and Milo don't come back here right now, then this wedding is going to be canceled. Wait, it hasn't even been canceled yet? Why would it be canceled already? I just had to explain to everyone what happened just then in order to get them all to wait a bit longer. Everyone said that as long as you come back soon, then they will all stay for the wedding. Then can you tell them all the wedding is over with and that they can all go home now? What? Right now I've just sat down to eat some of my husband's famous chicken noodle soup. He's trying to keep me from catching a cold right now because of you, so he added extra spices to this bowl. I apologize for throwing that bucket of water all over you. So please, would you come here right now? I never knew that you were also a CEO, Eloise. And to hear that you're actually Trey's biggest customer as well, I never knew that. I'm sorry, Maria. It's too late for apologies now. No way, Eloise. Then could you at least hand your phone over to Milo and let me speak to him? Let me speak to him right now. You want to talk to Milo? I heard this from my dad of all people, but is it really true? I know that right now he stays home to do the housework and such, but he was working as a CEO of Townsend Holdings? Oh, your dad must know a lot about the business world. We never told your parents anything about where Milo used to work and who he was there. My dad is working for that company right now. What? And he knows a lot about your husband and what he did at the company. Milo had worked so hard at the company that within 2 years of first being hired, he made it to becoming the new CEO. And then after a few years of working in that position and taking the company to multiple record-breaking goals, he left because he received all the money he needed. Well, he was just really wanting to retire at a young age was all. And that's why he even put in so much work that even the previous CEO recognized him and said he was next in line. Milo's dream was to work his butt off every day and night to take that company to places it had never been before, so that he could get as many company bonuses as possible and then retire soon after. And he ended up achieving that dream of his in record time. Neither him nor I have ever thought that he'd actually be able to do all of that so quickly. What? And now that he's retired now, he just relaxes at home, getting all the housework done for me while enjoying his hobbies. And even at home, he's still making money through the many shares he got from that company before handing it off to another man. What? Sorry about this, Maria. I just asked Milo if he'd want to talk with you, and he said no. What? He happens to know about your father as well, by the way. His response to me asking about him was that you're the daughter of that useless manager who never got anything done for the company. So Milo totally understands where you got that toxic attitude from now. Useless manager? Now then, make sure you cancel that wedding of yours. And just as was expected, the wedding was canceled, and immediately following it, Maria and Trey started to talk about how there would be no more marriage. After what happened this time, even Trey, who was so madly in love with Maria, had his eyes open to the real kind of monster she is. He told her about how much this was going to ruin his company and about how his relation to his brother and myself had been soured because of her. After that, he said to her everything was off and that he would never, ever talk to her again. Thinking that she'd never hear something like that from Trey, Maria came to Milo and I screaming and crying about how sorry she was for everything. But as she sat outside our doors screaming about how sorry she was, we both looked at one another before locking the door and putting on a movie with the volume at max so that we didn't have to hear her. Trey later went ahead and started to put more attention into his company again after seeing me end that contract in front of his eyes. But after a few months go by, I might go back and see how he's doing, and see if he really does need me to come back and work with him again. As for Maria, only a few weeks after giving up on apologizing to us, she was kicked out of her parents' house as her dad had had enough of her. Apparently Milo put in a bad word to the CEO of the company he used to run, saying that Maria's dad couldn't be trusted and should just be fired. So due to that, he is currently under even more investigation and soon might end up losing the job he never really took seriously to begin with. The last thing anyone has heard about Maria came from Trey after he received a note from her asking for him to take her back. But Trey knew better than to read that note, and so after giving it a skim, he tossed it in the garbage can with Maria watching him do so from a bush in his yard. After that, she was never heard from again, and has most likely left New York for good and gone somewhere lowlifes like her can live. Like perhaps the backwoods or something.